Quit stalling and find it!
In NCIS Season 23, Episode 15, Knick Knack, the show steps away from its usual serious tone and leans into a lighter, puzzle-driven storyline. From the very beginning, the case feels different. A man is murdered, but before dying, he manages to leave behind a trail of clues, immediately drawing comparisons to the Da Vinci Code. The idea is simple. Follow the clues, solve the mystery, and uncover the truth. However, unlike the gripping, step-by-step tension you'd expect from a true puzzle story, the episode plays out in a more procedural way. The team follows each clue one after another, but the audience never really gets the chance to think ahead or feel involved. Instead of solving the mystery alongside the characters, we're mostly just watching them piece it together. As the investigation unfolds, the case takes an unexpected turn. The clues lead the team to a set of rare and highly valuable dinosaur bones. From this point on, the episode starts to feel heavily inspired by Indiana Jones. There are multiple references, jokes, and even story elements that resemble an adventure film. Hidden motives, historical connections, and a German family with ties to a Nazi past. It adds an entertaining layer, but at times it feels like the episode is relying more on these references than building a truly strong mystery. The suspect list is introduced, but it's not particularly complex. One of the main red herrings is a scientist who helped analyze the bones. For a while, it seems like she could be involved, especially since there's money and recognition at stake. But it quickly becomes clear that she's not the killer. She's genuinely interested in the discovery and doesn't have a violent motive. This leads back to a very familiar NCIS pattern. The killer is someone close to the victim. In this case, the twist is that the murderer is the victim's own grandchild. While it's meant to be shocking, it's also predictable, especially for longtime viewers who have seen similar reveals many times before. The motive comes down to greed and control over the valuable bones, reinforcing the episode's theme that money often drives people to extremes. Alongside the main case, the episode includes several character moments. Jessica Knight gets more focus than usual. We see a lighter side of her personality through her love of movies like The Da Vinci Code and Indiana Jones, and we also learn about her childhood dolls. These details are meant to add depth, but the subplot doesn't fully land and feels more like filler than meaningful development. There's also a brief but notable moment with Nick Torres, who shares a personal story about his family fleeing Colombia. It's one of the few emotional beats in the episode and shows how the case connects to real-life struggles involving displacement and loss. Unfortunately, this thread isn't explored deeply and feels like a missed opportunity for a stronger storyline. The most engaging part of the episode comes in the final act. Things take a serious turn when the main villain takes Knight and Timothy McGee hostage. In a sudden and shocking moment, Knight is shot to force McGee into cooperating. This raises the stakes instantly and creates real tension, something that had been missing for most of the episode. McGee is then forced to move through a ship's engine room, trying to manage the situation while under pressure. This sequence is visually interesting and adds suspense, but it doesn't last long enough to fully develop. Still, it stands out as the strongest part of the episode. The climax comes with a final confrontation, where Alden Parker steps in at the right moment to take down the villain and save the day. It's a classic NCIS ending, quick, effective, and familiar. By the end, the case is solved, and everything is wrapped up neatly. The episode delivers what it sets out to do: a lighter, adventure-style story with puzzles and references. But at the same time, it struggles to stand out. The mystery is predictable, the characters outside the main team feel exaggerated, and the emotional depth is limited. In the end, Knick Knack feels like an experiment that doesn't fully succeed. It has fun moments, especially with its Indiana Jones-style approach and the intense final act. But overall, it's an episode you'll likely remember more for its concept than its execution.